welcome to the Blue Corner. My name is Dennis, and it's time for my August collection update. Getting closer and closer to being up to date, so let's just get straight into it. I'm in a bit of rush, I guess. No, I'm not. But yeah, let's start off with a little stack of DVDs, because still no Blu-ray. So first up, I picked up Shoot Fighter, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Shoot Fighter. Those were my jams in my youth, I guess. So, of course, I had to get them for the collection again. I haven't seen these Shoot Fighter movies in ages, so really wanted to revisit them. And now I know there's a German Blu-ray for the first one in a metal pack. That's a bit hard to get nowadays, and when I do find it, it's rather expensive. But it's out of Germany, so I don't have too much faith in it. So I would rather go with the cheaper option of the DVDs for now. Shoot Fighter 2. Polo Young as a good guy in these movies is a bit weird though, but I love these movies. Mean Machine. Another one that has Jason Statham in it. So it goes in the collection. Now this one is a Paramount release, and Paramount have been getting a bit better at going back to older titles recently. So who knows, maybe they will find this in the archive one day and give it a Blu-ray treatment. Thunderbolt, Jackie Chan, one of the few movies that doesn't look like it's in line for a Blu-ray anytime soon. Now I do know there's a Spanish Blu-ray of this, but I'm not hearing great things about both audio and picture quality of it. So while I did pay a little more for this DVD than I would have liked, it will still be the cheaper option, I guess. I don't know what the Spanish Blu-ray is, but if the quality is not that great, I'm not importing it. So, and it was just a fun little rewatch. I will pick up the Blu-ray if we do get a proper one eventually. And then I picked up Lucky Luke, the complete collection. 1 movie and 8 episodes from the TV show. I guess that's the complete collection. I don't know, but I've been in a Terence Hill and Bud Spencer mood these last few months, so you've seen a few here and there in some of my updates, if you actually watch my videos. So, this is another one for the collection. Now, I'm not gonna be too mad about it since it's the DVD, but had I bought this box set looking like this, being Blu-ray and more expensive, I would have complained a bit, because if you take it out, it's just this little flimsy cardboard, and the discs are just in these sleeves here, and this is rather flimsy. Like I said, had it been Blu-ray and Blu-ray prices, I wouldn't have been happy. So
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Let's continue to the Blu-rays. More. What's the word I'm looking for? Cheap Blu-rays bought on Facebook Marketplace. But let's just fly right through them. Death Race 2. I picked up the first one not too long ago, because again, Jason Statham was in it, and I found these sequels in a bundle. I figured, why not? So I picked up Death Race 2. It's not a great franchise, but I still have fun with them. Death Race 3 Inferno. Too bad Jason didn't want to return for them, I guess. Death Race Beyond Anarchy. Some Scott Adkins titles. I picked up Castle Falls. Falls. Yeah, Falls, not Fall. I quite enjoyed this one actually. Scott Adkins movies recently have been. I like this one. I don't like that one. I like that one. I don't like that one. So this is one I quite enjoyed. So I was glad that we actually got this on Blu-ray here in Denmark. Again, it's very hit and miss what we get on Blu-ray here in Denmark. So I'm getting them when we actually do get them. More Scott Adkins, One Shot. Not a bad movie, but I didn't seem to enjoy it nearly as much as other people did, I guess. So I guess this one was... I don't like that one nearly as much. Sudden Death. Now, I did have a 5-movie collection Blu-ray set from America where this was included, but I've since gotten a few of the other ones on either 4K or special collector's edition sets. So I'm just trying to get the remaining movies on their own so I can sell that set. I don't need multiple copies of these movies, I guess. Only the ones that are more important. So I picked up the standalone edition of Sudden Death. Enemy Closer. More Van Damme for the collection. Not a great movie, but I actually enjoyed this one quite a bit. It was fun seeing Van Damme as a bad guy and just the hairstyle he has in this movie. I don't know if you can see it probably on this. But yeah, Van Damme with red hair. It was just... that made me laugh. I don't know. We Die Young. I do actually believe this is the latest to come out here in Denmark. It's a few years old. Let's see, does it say 2018? 28. Yeah, that sounds about right. But I do actually believe this was released here in Denmark in 2022. So, been a while. And it's an okay little movie. Sadly, Van Damme is beyond his prime, I guess you can say. Long Shot. I quite enjoyed this one. I did not expect to like this one nearly as much as I did. But this is just a fun little comedy. And I'd say if you haven't seen it and you want a laugh or two, give this one a go. Paradise Alley. Another Danish edition. Stallone. I don't know if this... what's the... EMI? I don't know. I don't know much about that company, but apparently EMI is a company here in Denmark that's been licensing titles from Universal and been putting them out recently. There's been quite a few titles out recently from them where it's Universal titles. So I guess this is one of them, and I haven't seen this in ages. I really don't remember it at all. So this is one I need to go back to. The Pursuit of Happiness. More Will Smith for the collection. It's a good movie, but it's not the Will Smith movie I would normally be putting on. But it's again getting as many Will Smith movies as I can. Undisputed, the first in the franchise, pretty much has nothing to do with the sequels other than the characters. Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White are better than Ving Rhames and Wesley Snipes. But this, I do believe this was actually a Walter Hill movie. Yeah, Walter Hill. I really do like Walter Hill movies. And again, this is not a bad movie. The sequels just did it so much better from my point of view, being a martial arts fan, so yeah. US Marshals. Quite enjoyed this one actually. I don't have The Fugitive I don't even know if we do have a Danish Blu-ray for The Fugitive. I do actually need to find out. I would like to have both. But I back when this came out, I was a big fan of Wesley Snipes and watched anything he was in. In his case, when it comes to him, that's not the case nowadays. But I really did enjoy this one, so I had to pick it up. It was in a bundle, and I decided that was worth keeping. Good Gogger. Or let's see, what's the real title? Stan and Ollie. Yes, original title, Stan and Ollie. Now, again, two guys I grew up watching quite a bit. We never had a bunch of the old what's the names again? Three Stooges. Guys like that. I don't remember ever having seen those guys on Danish TV at all. There's a couple of other comedy acts like that I don't remember having seen here in Denmark. But Laurel and Hardy, or Stan and Ollie, whatever you want to say, fun times. I had plenty of fun times with their movies growing up, so I was quite excited when this one came out. Sadly, I was a little disappointed by it because it covers the later years in their career more than I guess what they made that I watched growing up. So, but the actors they do a really good job at portraying them, so it's worth me keeping in the collection. Fortress, Bruce Willis, has to be in the collection. Breach, Bruce Willis, has to be in the collection. Now this came out, Breach, and what was the other one? Cosmic Sin, I want to say. I don't have it in, might be in the next update or the previous one, I don't remember. Those two space movies came out around the same time, and none of them are great movies at all. But I do actually, see, now I might have them confused. Might be Cosmic Sin, where I actually like the premise of the movie a bit. So maybe had there been a bit more money behind the movie, could have been better. Well, I guess that's the case for any movie. Surviving the Game, Bruce Willis. Airstrike, a Chinese Bruce Willis movie. I actually did expect more of this one. I don't know why. I'm a Hong Kong action fan, so seeing a Chinese-made movie, I don't know what I expected. It's not a bad movie, and it is. It's not, well, it's before we knew what was going on with Willis. I don't know how bad it was at this stage, but I can watch this again. Skyfire, another disaster movie like Volcano, Dante's Peak, but I didn't know much about this, and this is another Chinese movie, and the trailer looked okay, but watching this, I actually quite enjoyed this one. This was a fun little disaster movie about a volcano destroying a theme park, I guess. So yeah, if you like disaster movies, I'd say give this one a go. Vendetta, one of the more recent Bruce Willis movie. Mike Tyson is in it. Theo Rossi is in. You know Theo if you're Sons of Anarchy fan. He played Juice. You don't see him in a lot of stuff today, but this one was okay-ish. Abduction, Scott Adkins. A bit weird. From legend producer Roger Corman. I guess that's something. I'm not. I've never been a big fan of Roger Corman movies. There's some okay movies in between, but yeah, this one's a bit weird. Money Train. Bruce Willis. No, not Bruce Willis. Wesley Snipes. And Jennifer Lopez and Woody Harrelson. I want to say Jennifer Lopez, but that's not the case here. Jennifer Lopez. Another great Wesley Snipes movie. So, no problem having that in collection. Now, here's back to EMI titles. So, see, that's Universal too. The Great Outdoors. John Candy. I saw them having a bunch of John Candy movies, and I got in a John Candy mood, so I picked them up. So first, Great Outdoors, Brewster's Millions, and I actually found out that much like Undisputed, this is actually a Walter Hill movie. I don't remember ever having realized this was a Walter Hill movie. It's not the typical Walter Hill movie, but I guess it is, and I quite enjoy this one. Uncle Buck, great John Candy movie. These are probably the ones I know the best from John Candy, but now there's a bunch of other John Candy movies I want that's out on Blu-ray, since I actually looked for what was out with him in it. So, a great comedian, one of the best big guy comedians out there when it comes to movies. Him and Chris Farley, I would say Chris Farley is the one I've watched the most, even though he didn't make that many movies, that I probably missed just a tad bit more. But I wouldn't have minded other guys being around today at all. Dragnet, Dan Aykroyd, Tom Hanks. I know I've seen this one, but it's been so many years that I don't remember it all that much. So it was an easy pickup to see if I would like it now. But at the price of these movies are really low, so even if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have lost all that much. And the final one of the EMI titles, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Not a great movie. I quite enjoyed this one back in the day it came out, and I did pick up, I do believe there's I want to say it was a UK Blu-ray out a few years back that I picked up and watched it, and I just, okay, this does not hold up whatsoever. This is a terrible movie. So I ended up including that in the big stack of movies I sold in my year of YouTube, and here I am picking it up again. So, still a terrible movie, but it was in the cheap stack of Blu-rays. So, and then the final two releases of Blu-ray box sets. We have more Terence Hill and Bud Spencer in Terence Hill and Bud Spencer Comedy Collection number 3. And there's 4 movies. Let's see, Banana Joe, Super Snooper, Blackie the Pirate, and Even Angels Eat Beans. Yeah. And then we have number 4, the last one. I don't believe there's gonna be more box sets anytime soon, but who knows. So right now I have the 4 box sets they put out. So I have the last 4 movies in this one. Buddy Goes West, The Troublemakers, God Forgives, I Don't, Today We Kill, Tomorrow We Die. So I've seen a couple of them. I quite enjoy these movies. The quality of the Blu-rays, I've talked about that on when I was showing off Volume 1 and 2. It's not great, but it's better than the DVDs. Then let's go outside Denmark and go with first Germany. The Legacy of Lies, Scott Adkins, only place that has this one out on Blu-ray from what I can see. And sadly this time around there's no reversible cover without the logo, so gonna have to keep it this way, I guess. Good movie. Incoming, also Germany, where I have flipped the cover around. So no ratings. Not a great movie. From America we have Accident Man, which just had the sequel premiere yesterday. October 14th. The sequel came out on digital. Great movie, and the sequel is even better. So I would say give this one a go, and definitely the sequel. It's on Amazon Prime right now. If you can, watch it, and when it comes out in your country, wherever you are, pick it up. We need Scott Adkins to be able to make more movies. He says it quite a lot. Way too many people pirate his movies, so don't do that. Good Burger.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Fun movie that I haven't seen in ages. I remember way back when this came out. I originally had interest in it because of Sinbad being in it. I watched pretty much anything he starred or he was in general. So of course this one was another go. And this is just a fun movie. And it's, what year? 1997. So it has a few years on it now. And Keen and Kel are actually talking about a sequel. So I'm actually hoping they get around to doing the sequel. I don't know what they're gonna do if they still work at Good Burger, but I guess time will tell. Chinese Zodiac. This is Arm of God 3. Yeah, Arm of God 3. I was gonna say Police Story, but that's wrong. Arm of God 3, just called Chinese Zodiac. Now, we do have a Danish Blu-ray that I tried to find, and it's out of print, and nobody was selling it anywhere at all that I could find. So I picked up the UK edition. I do believe it's the same disc, but I just don't like all this. Well, the Danish one has rating logo on it too, but I don't like all this up here, and I'm not a fan of the thicker cases. So, and I would have liked just to get the Danish edition now that it's out of print. The Bouncer, one of the better Van Damme movies of his last 10, I don't know, 2018 too? Damn, it's not older than that. Well, okay. One of his better movies in his last 5 to 10 years. If you have any doubts about the Van Damme movies of late, this one is the one. I would say don't miss out on this one. 6 Bullets. Also, and this is a bit older. Yeah, 2012. This is a bit older. 10 years, I guess. It's an okay movie, but The Bouncer was better. Tears of the Sun, UK edition. We don't have a Danish edition. Bruce Willis. The Assassination, UK edition. I do believe this was called The Assassination of a High School principle or something along those lines. Not a great movie. Don't actually remember it all that much. Extraction. Perfect Stranger. This one I'm actually curious about rewatching. Another one I haven't seen for quite some time, and I don't remember at all if I liked it or not. So I have to get around to that one. Much like a big stack of other movies. Hearts War, more Bruce Willis. I had the steelbook for this one, so well, technically Tears of the Sun, I had the steelbook too. And when I sold pretty much all my steelbooks, those went with it, so I had to get the standalone editions again, or Amaray cases. So, Hearts War. Let's go over to the boutique labels. Now, recently I've uploaded a bunch of showcase videos, mainly from Cineasia, so you've probably not seen those videos because they don't get a lot of views. But for the few of you that actually do watch my videos, could some of you guys please just click the video, hit the like, and then leave again? I wouldn't mind that. Just hit a like also on this video now and again. So yeah, the last few Cineasia titles I was missing in my collection was first Wolf Warrior 2. This one out of print. Well, technically a lot of Cineasia titles are, but this one went for £50 as the cheapest I found on eBay, and there was none on Amazon. And then out of nowhere, a guy from Italy of all places was selling it on eBay for £7. So while I do have the Welgo USA version of this Blu-ray, I decided, well, I'm picking it up. Yeah, I'm so close to completing the Cineasia collection that I'm picking it up. So £7 against 50. I'll say I made quite a deal. And the final Cineasia title I was missing in the collection, the most expensive one, is the Admiral. This one goes on. I found one title on Amazon, and that was £110. I do believe it was. I don't remember if 109 or 10. It doesn't matter. It was expensive as all hell. Then again, it showed up on eBay for £60. Still way more than I would have liked to pay. But I had a bunch of other Blu-rays put aside I could sell because I picked up the 4K editions of them, or I've upgraded them for whatever reason. So I sold those Blu-rays, or some of those Blu-rays, and I got the money for this. So yes, I paid £60 for this goddamn Blu-ray. And the movie, it's a good movie, but it's not what I expected. It's about the attack on Pearl Harbor. So I was expecting more bombs, way more war movie than it really is. But most of this movie is planning the attacks and the defense plans after the attack. You see the attacks, but it's just small glimpse and quick glimpse that's over fast, and then back to talking. There's a lot of talking in this movie. So yeah, like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's just not one that I feel like anybody will go back to a bunch of times. I don't mind having in the collection. I don't regret. Well, I would have liked to pay less, but just to have it in the collection, to complete the Cineasia collection so far, I did it. From Eureka, I picked up Running Out of Time 1 and 2. Johnny Toe, great Johnny Toe movies. Had seen the first one before. The second one was a first time watch, and Running Out of Time 1, I don't. Or Running Out of Time 1 is a really good movie. It's so good that I was a little bit let down by the sequel, actually. The sequel is also a good movie. The first one is just so good that I couldn't help but feel a little let down by the sequel. Yeah. And again, it's these editions that Eureka put out. I hate when they do this. They 2 movies, 1 case, and they do the front cover for Running Out of Time, and then you can flip the cover around and you have the cover for Running Out of Time 2. Put them in 2 cases, or figure out some other way to do this. I hate it's 2 separate movies, and if I have the full limited edition, when the slipcover goes out of print and you just buy the standard low edition that's gonna look like this, you're not gonna, unless you know that the sequel is in there. It's just I don't know if it's just me. I do like quite a bit of the releases Eureka put out, but I just get so frustrated with releases like this. So yeah. From Arrow Video, I picked up My Stepmom Is an Alien. Again, a movie I grew up watching quite a bit. I was a big fan of Kim Basinger back in the day. I do actually believe she was my first Hollywood crush. So, you see, take the scene from True Lies with Jamie Lee Curtis dancing. That scene did for a lot of guys what a specific scene in this one did to me. Maybe a little too much detail, but yeah, it's not a great movie. It's not as good as I remembered it to be, but I still enjoyed it. It was a fun revisit, so I'm glad I picked it up. Good Guys Wear Black from 88 Films, Chuck Norris movie that I actually don't believe I had seen before I got this Blu-ray. I don't remember it anywhere. And again, it's not a bad movie, but it is a bit slow. I do really wish that 88 Films would put out more Chuck Norris movies, because some of them do deserve a better treatment than what they've gotten so far. Then the final Shaw Brothers release from 88 Films, so far at least. They said that, to my knowledge, so I'm going by that. Flying Guillotine 2. Sadly, I hadn't started picking up these titles when they put out Flying Guillotine 1, and that's out of print now, and I can't find it anywhere, so I'm gonna have to do with the sequel for now, unless Arrow puts it in one of their box sets. Fun kung fu movie. I hadn't seen the sequel before, and I do prefer the first one just a tad bit more, but it's still a fun watch. And the weapons they use in it, stupid as all hell, but I enjoy it. And then, I'm not gonna say well, it might be my favorite pickup of this video, Tiger Cage 1, 2, and 3. I still have the Hong Kong Blu-rays for Tiger Cage 1 and 2, which has Donnie Yen in it. This is the first time I ever watched Tiger Cage 3, which apparently is the case for a lot of people, and it's nowhere near as good as the first two. Maybe I'm biased since Donnie Yen isn't in that one, but it's still a good movie, and I'm thankful to all hell that we finally got a complete trilogy set of these movies, and just that we have movies like movies from the in the line of duty coming out from both Eureka and 88 upcoming. I just love those movies, so I'm glad that it looks like Donnie Yen is finally getting some love from those companies. Almost my pick of the month. Tiger Cage. Let's do a little stack of 4Ks before we end the video. Let's see, first I picked up the last or latest Pirates of the Caribbean. I showed off the first 4 Danish 4K titles in a previous video and said we didn't have this one here in Denmark, so I had to go to America again for this one. So finally now I have all 5. And of course it's in a thin case being from America, and the 4 I have are in a thick case. From Scream Factory, I picked up Child's Play. I did originally have the Blu-ray release they put out, but since I had the box set with all the movies at the time, I sold the Blu-ray. So I was happy that Child's Play finally got the 4K treatment it deserves, and not just Child's Play, Child's Play 2 and Child's Play 3. This is one of my all-time favorite horror franchises, and this one is one of my all-time favorite horror movies in general. So this was a no-brainer for me to pick up these movies. I loved the first, or the original trilogy. The later movies, quite a bit hit and miss with me, but that original trilogy, oh my god, I've watched those movies so many times, I've lost count. I've yet to watch the 4K titles, but they had to be in the collection. For sure. And I'm probably gonna say Drive 4K from 88 Films is my pick of the month. I love this movie. This is my, I would say this is my favorite American martial arts movie. Oh, Hollywood made martial arts movie, rather. And there's plenty of Hong Kong movies I like just a bit more, but American made martial arts movie. Yeah, I'll go with that. It's just such a fun ride, and the fact that it finally has a 4K Blu-ray amazes me. We had to endure the Blu-ray for so many years. No, not the Blu-ray, the DVD for so many years, and then finally MVD putting out a Blu-ray after those many years, and now 88 putting out the 4K. This is not a title I ever expected to get a 4K title, and I'm so glad it did. So yeah, that was a no-brainer. From Arrow, I picked up Flatliners. Great looking cover. The glare it has, I don't know if you can really see it. This was just a, well, I haven't seen this one in years, and I don't really remember it. Well, let's pick it up and give it a watch. I did not like the remake they made a few years ago, and like I said, I didn't remember this all that much. But I actually quite enjoyed this one. It looked absolutely amazing on 4K, and I don't know why. I see a lot of people say this is not a good movie. Granted, it's not a great movie, but I enjoyed it. I put it on the same night that I got this one, and I actually enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. So I would say this is a good movie. So I'm glad I picked it up. And then the final title for this update, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. And yes, it is included with the replacement disc. That was already in the box set when I got it, so I guess they went back and repackaged all the editions they had not sold yet. And it's a good movie. I'll say it's a good movie, but it can be a bit of a hard watch too, I guess. It's about a serial killer, and yeah, I can't really decide on how to describe this movie and how I viewed it. It's another movie that I rewatched after many years of not having seen it. I don't even remember when I saw it the first time, and it's another case of I heard other people say it was a good movie, and I just decided, okay, I'm gonna pick it up. So I did, and I enjoyed it to a degree. Again, yeah, it's not an easy watch, but it's staying in the collection. And again, it's not a movie that I would have expected to ever get a 4K treatment. But here it is, and it's in the collection. So that's it. My August collection update video. And with that, please do remember to hit the like. Leave a comment if you can. And until next time, thanks for watching, and peace out.